So, as you all know, this problem that we've been having with Mexico and these migrant caravans that are trying to invade America, okay? So, a statement has been released by our government, okay? I just got notice of it. We're some of the first ones to find out. You'll probably see it on the media either tonight, maybe tomorrow. This is a statement by Secretary Pompeo. Okay? So it is our job as Voices for America to communicate what's going on, and so that's what I'm doing now. I know that a lot of Americans, my fellow Americans, are very concerned about what's going on at the Mexican border with Guatemala and with Central America, because that's where the problem starts. So I think you'll be happy to hear this. I think you'll be happy with the statement that has been released. You may see it on the media tonight. Mainstream media may have it tonight, tomorrow. So basically, Mexico's foreign minister, Marcelo Ebrard, who was chief of Mexico City for their terms are 3 years, right? Anyway, he was chief of Mexico City, Marcelo Ebrard. He's been working hard with President Trump to negotiate a deal that will benefit Mexico and America as far as what's going on, and as far as Mexico fulfilling their obligations and their commitments with America when it comes to these migrant caravans, okay? So Marcelo Ebrard has been working hard with Washington to come to an agreement and something that's doable for Mexico to stop these migrant caravans and to stop this invasion and the border crisis we're having in the border crisis we're having in Tijuana and also in El Paso, Texas, which is huge. As I was saying earlier, it would be almost impossible to stop them the way we've been doing it now at the border here, or at the border in Texas, or at the border in Arizona. It's almost impossible, because there's so much open area that even if they're already working on the wall, okay, even if everything is already being done, because President Trump is working on the wall as we speak, there are places everywhere where the wall keeps going up. I've been doing videos and videos and videos and videos about it, okay? But it's going to take a while. It's not going to be immediate, okay? Hi, so it's getting all over the news now. Okay, good. I just got an email from, about the press release. So we get these emails and we communicate this to you guys. So, okay, so the United States has been working with Marcelo Ebrard, and the U.S. Department of State just released this. So it's a joint declaration between Mexico and America, okay, where they're addressing these issues with illegal immigration, what's coming from Central America, Honduras, Guatemala, everything else. There's been a huge increase, as we've all seen over the past year, these migrant caravans, okay? And it is a humanitarian and emergency situation. So the governments of Mexico and America will work together, as of now, to find an immediate solution, something that can be implemented to put an end to this crisis, to this massive migration from Central America that's bad for Mexico and bad for America. Share my video. So there's been discussions between the U.S. and Mexico, and basically what Mexico has committed to do is to send their National Guard down to the southern border, Okay, and also Mexico is also taking decisive action to dismantle human smuggling and trafficking organizations, as well as their illicit financial and transportation networks. Which is where a lot of this is coming from. Additionally, the United States and Mexico commit to strengthen bilateral cooperation, including information sharing and coordinated actions to better protect and secure our common border. Okay, so migrant protection protocol. So that's also another issue, because that's where you have, as I said yesterday on one of my videos, human rights and something that's majorly being used against America, the human rights. Okay, human rights is a big issue. It's a big issue when it comes to the community I spoke about yesterday, or just migrants in general. It's been a big issue. I know that it's been a big issue here in Mexico because they're being closely watched. Human rights organizations are closely watching the police here, closely watching everything that's going on, the shelters, the treatment, everything. Okay, so Mexico will authorize the entrance of all those individuals for humanitarian reasons. However, they will be waiting in Mexico, okay? And Mexico will offer jobs, healthcare, education, because Mexico does have an obligation with these international agreements. So Mexico's committed to that, but they will accept people who have valid humanitarian reasons. Further actions, both parties also agree that if this doesn't work, basically further actions will be taken. So let's see. Therefore, the United States and Mexico will continue further discussions on terms of additional. So so they will continue to enforce. They will continue with the discussions, okay, to address this irregular flow of migrants, which is the caravans we've been having for a year and a half now, and that we know of, because it's actually probably been going on a lot longer, and if necessary, more will be announced in 90 days. So, ongoing regional strategy. The United States and Mexico reiterate their previous statement of December 18, 2018, that both countries recognize the strong links between promoting development and economic growth in southern Mexico and the success of promoting prosperity, good governance, and security in Central America, which is what we need. Listen, this is what I always talk about, guys. If we have a good life in Mexico, Mexicans are they're not going to want to migrate to America illegally. It's really simple. Mexican government works on making our country great, okay? Making our country good, making our country reasonable, making our country fair, justice for the Mexican people. And I'll tell you what, Mexicans are not going to be migrating to America illegally. It's just not going to happen, okay? They're going to be staying in Mexico. They're going to be working in Mexico. They're going to be happy in Mexico, because 90% of the people that are in America illegally are not happy being there illegally. You may see them working. You may see them, living in America, but at the end of the day, they can't come back to Mexico. So they're not happy. If they had a good life in Mexico, they would not be migrating to America illegally. It's that simple. This is why for years, and you can go back and watch my videos for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been saying, by me fighting one fight in Mexico, I automatically fight the fight in America. Because if we have a good life in Mexico, if we have, rights as citizens, if we have jobs, if we have money, if we have the resources that we need, if the government is treating us fairly, if we have a good economy in Mexico, if the citizens have a good quality of life, they're not going to want to migrate to America illegally. So This is what has just been released. And it's the same thing basically with Central America. If Central Americans, Hondurans, Guatemalans, and Salvadorians have a decent life in their countries, it will automatically put an end to this massive migration to America and Mexico. It's really simple. Okay, and again, I've been talking about this for years. So taking care of the underlying causes of migration so that citizens of the region can build better lives for themselves and their families at home and stay home and not have the need to migrate to America illegally, okay, or to Mexico. It's really simple. I've been talking about this for years. You can go back and watch my videos. That has always been when it came to Mexico before the caravans, that has always been my approach and my solution. We take care of Mexicans, okay? I even played songs for you. I've even tried to explain it with songs and this and that because I want Americans to understand that Mexicans don't want to leave Mexico. They don't want to leave Mexico, especially not illegally. Because here's what happens when you leave Mexico illegally, okay? You can't come back. We love our culture too much to not be able to come back, okay? We love our culture way too much to not be able to come back, okay? Think of having to migrate to another country illegally and not being able to ever see your family again, okay? Think of getting a phone call and somebody telling you your father is dying in the hospital. And the only thing you could do if your dad is able to speak is speak with him over the phone. And you'll never be able to say goodbye, or your sister or your mother or your whoever, any family member or a friend. Think of having to leave Mexico and know that you may never want to come back. I mean, you may never be able to come back if you want to have a life in America. And it happens all the time. And there are some of the most popular songs for Mexicans are written about it, okay? And corrupt politicians in these countries need to be out. Yes. So, are you attending the rally in TJ tomorrow? Yes. So, yes, that's what's going on today, guys. I just got an email with the release of this statement from Washington, and I wanted to communicate this to you. And again, it's basically the same thing. They're working on a comprehensive development plan launched by the government of Mexico, in collaboration with the governments of El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras to be able to accomplish this solution for these countries so that they no longer have to migrate to either Mexico and eventually try to, run across illegally into America. So, and it's the same thing, they don't want to leave their countries. I've been talking about this for years. They do not want to leave their countries. They do because they're starving. They do because they have no jobs. They have no food. They have, not all of them, but I'm saying a lot of them. And their claims a lot of them are very legit. So why not work on a comprehensive plan that for economic development for these Central American countries that will make them want to stay at home, okay? AMLO lied during his campaign. Why not lie now? Well, but here's the thing. This is not up to AMLO anymore, okay? AMLO may be a liar, I've always told you, I never speak up for him. I never do. And you can go back and watch my videos for last year because, that's when he became elected. I didn't vote for him and I don't speak up for him. I don't even believe he's really governing Mexico, to be honest with you. And again, that's not for me to say. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But what I'm saying is that it's not up to him right now anymore, because that's why we have President Trump. And President Trump is not going to let Mexico get away with it. Not him, his boss, or him, or whoever. President Trump is not going to let him get away with it, because whether it is him or whoever it may be, it's President Trump who's putting his foot down. It's President Trump who's saying, I will not let you, Mexico, okay, allow these massive caravans, this massive irregular migration into your country, and then try to invade mine while I'm trying to build my wall over here and fight with Nancy Pelosi, okay? I'm not going to let you do that. I'm going to force you to make them stop at your border, because it's a lot smaller, it's a lot easier to control. It is at the U.S.-Mexico border. So I'll read the ongoing regional strategy. It's the United States and Mexico reiterate the previous statement of December 18th, 2018, that both countries recognize the strong links between promoting development and economic growth in southern Mexico and the success of promoting prosperity, good governance, and the security of Central America, which is not going to be easy, but at least they can start working on it. You know, it wasn't easy in Tijuana, but we did it, okay? Making Tijuana safe was not easy, and we've been doing it. I understand that, you know, it's the most dangerous city in the world, but, you know, you don't see me, you know, hiding every day. I'm out here. I live here, and, you know, so we accomplished it we did it when 10 years ago, I wouldn't even go to the supermarket because I was afraid, you know, so we did it. So it is possible. It took a while, it took a few years, but we did it, you know. And that's what makes us Tijuana people so strong, because we've been through it. We've been through war. I've lived here at a time where I can't go to the supermarket. I can't go to the movies. I can't, you know, I have to drive like this, you know, afraid of gunshots. I've been there. I woke up to bodies outside of my house. And I no longer live like that. So it is possible. And, so it can be done. That's why we fight so hard for Tijuana. The United States and Mexico will lead in working with regional and international partners to build a more prosperous and secure Central America to address the underlying causes of migration so that citizens of the region can build better lives for themselves and their families at home. You know, it sounds like a good plan to me. It really does. You know. And especially if right now, not only Central America, but Mexico is somehow committed to that. It's a plan that could work. And it could also work for Mexicans as well. So not only people coming in on these migrant caravans from Central America, but also the people in southern Mexico, Chiapas, Veracruz, because we have a lot of people from Chiapas and Veracruz and all those places that are also migrating to America illegally. And it happens all the time. Again, I haven't, I just got this, and I don't know when it'll be. I mean, you guys were saying that it was already out on the news. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been watching the news yet. But that's the reason why. That's the reason we will not put up with the way of. Yes, exactly. We actually did it. Maybe it might stop. Yeah. Hi, guys. So yes. Yes. That's what's going on today. Just got this email about this media note, for release, and it makes me happy to hear that. That's what we need. We need to work on making their countries good. Okay, because once we do, they're not going to want to go anywhere. They're going to want to stay home. It's as simple as that. I could guarantee you, if you ask 9.9 out of 10 Mexicans are going to say, if you had a choice of migrating to America illegally or living a decent life in Mexico, which one would you prefer? And they would say, stay in Mexico, even struggling a little bit, as opposed to leaving, being in this golden cage that they call it. They actually call it a golden cage. I'm not joking. You know that I have a clear understanding of both countries, very, very clear understanding of both countries. They call it a golden cage. Why would you want to be in a golden cage? It is golden, but it's a cage. So it's the same thing for Central Americans. They feel the same way. Okay? And probably even more because they're farther away. So, girl, you can start over. I can't start over, Bill, but I've been talking about the agreement that was just reached between Mexico, Marcelo Ebrard, who is the minister for Mexico, and Washington. Okay, they've reached an agreement to work on Central America, make it strong, make it prosperous, build Central America so that we stop these caravans, and also taking immediate action as far as sending that Mexican National Guard down to Chiapas so that to stop the caravans, basically. And it was an agreement reached between Marcelo Ebrard and in Washington, and he's the foreign minister for the Mexican foreign minister, Marcelo Ebrard. He was president of Mexico City for a while. I'm not going to give you my opinion on him right now. But again, the United States and Mexico are working, closely with each other to stop these caravans. Okay, to stop these caravans, and not only that, not only to stop the caravans, but to also find a solution to the underlying causes of these caravans. Okay, which is what I've been talking about for years. For those of you who have followed me for years, thank you for your information and your interest. Thank you so much. It's my interest because I care both about America and Mexico. And so it's not a profession for me. It's personal. I want to see Mexico prosper. I want to see Mexican people be happy in Mexico. I want Mexico to remain Mexico, and I want America to remain America. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that and keep our sovereignty in both countries is by fighting against all this corruption in both Central America and also Mexico, and for Central Americans to stay in Central America, Mexicans to stay in Mexico, and then stop this massive illegal immigration into America because they're running away from their countries because they don't have anything else. So Oscar said the president will, I don't know what the president will do, and so I don't know. We know they're coming. We know why they're coming here. Of course they're coming here because they don't have anything in their countries. So if we can work as this release says, if we can work with international companies to build Central America, they're not going to want to come to America anymore. They're going to want to stay in Central America. They're going to want to stay in Mexico. It's really simple. So, Paloma, if you don't think this of this person who made their deal, well, no. I'm saying I don't like the way he handled Mexico City. That's all I'm saying. That's my personal opinion. But at this point, I think they're gonna have to remain committed to their to their agreements with President Trump, because I think they realize now that President Trump is not joking around and he's gonna take action, and especially with these tariffs, they're gonna it'll be huge losses for Mexico, huge losses for Mexico, and so not coming, no, they're coming to vote Democrat. Oh, well, yeah, right. But right now we're talking about finding a solution for all of this, okay? The wall is going to take a while. Could take another 3 to 4 years, okay? Because it's not easy. I've seen it. I've personally seen it. It's a lot to cover. The terrain is horrible. There's mountains and it's not easy, guys. Even with the fence, it's not easy. And even with the way they're doing it, it seems pretty like the fence, the steel fence actually seems like a much better solution to me than a concrete fence, but a concrete wall. But still, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be done overnight. It's not. I think at least 3 to 4 years. So let's see. Mexico can't get away with it. Right, exactly. So again, I don't know what will happen tomorrow with the visit of López Obrador, who's Mexico's president. But what I do know, and what I can tell you, is that President Trump and Washington right now, our president's administration, are actively looking for a solution to this huge problem. Okay? And Mexico does have their commitments with their international agreements, because it is mentioned on here. But either way, Mexico, even though they have their own commitments to, for humanitarian visas and open borders down in Mexico, because they do have that, with the UN, Mexico still has to fulfill its international obligations because they've agreed to it, comply with them. They will also take care of the migrants that will be waiting in Mexico, seeking asylum in the U.S. So this should actually put, this should actually cut back a lot. Even just taking care of the problem in Central America and building Central America rapidly. They're small countries, guys. They're not big countries, and a lot can be put into them, and a lot, and they could become very prosperous if we work on them. After signing, unfortunately, yes. Stop la frontera. Well, yes, they have to be stopped right down at the border. So they put up a steel wall over to within 3 days privately. Well, yeah. But how much of it? How much of it, Thomas? Remember how much there is to cover. There's, hundreds and hundreds of miles to cover. So, We could get further if we sent all Democrats to Guatemala. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So, I wanted to share that with you, and it makes me really proud to get these messages and read them and communicate them to you guys, and also see that something is being done. It's so important. Trump 2020, guys, we got to keep fighting. We got to keep going. It must be so hard for someone like President Trump that has been under so much attack, so much scrutiny, so much, everything that they've done, and still keep going and try to, deal with so many problems and stick to his campaign promises and everything that he's done. Okay? So they need to impeach Nancy. Yeah. So, like the shades. Thank you so much. So yes, that's what I wanted to show. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. For those of you, this is from the U.S. Department of State. This is as of today, June 7th, U.S.-Mexico Joint Declaration. Okay? As far as these caravans, in this emergency, this humanitarian emergency and security situation that we have, not only at the Mexico, at the U.S. border here, but that's basically starting at the the Mexico-Guatemala border. Okay, so hi Jesse, how are you? Call me when you can. So yes, Mexico will take unprecedented steps to increase enforcement to curb irregular migration. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope this is good news to you all. I know it is to me because I know something is being done. And basically what this means is that Marcelo Ebrard and, who is the foreign minister for Mexico, and Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, who is the president of Mexico, are starting to realize that President Trump is not joking around and he's going to take action, and he already is, and something will be done, and we're going to stop these massive migrant caravans one way or another, because President Trump promised us that he would put America first, that he would protect the safety, the sovereignty, and the future of America. Okay? That's what he promised, and that's what he's doing. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Share this video. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you share this video. People have to know what's going on. And again, you will see it on the news because it's a media release. But, every person does it in a different way. And I'm giving you my point of view from a Mexican in Mexico who is also an American, and who has seen this problem for years, and whose solution is this, what I'm reading on this article right now, on this release right now. And I've been talking about it for years. For those of you who have been watching me, you can go back 4 years and listen to my solution. My solution is make Mexico great so they don't have to leave. Okay? And I wasn't even talking about the caravans because they hadn't even happened yet. But my solution was make our country great, and believe me, we're not going to be going anywhere. Okay? You make Mexico great, and they're going to want to stay here. Why? Because we have the resources. We have everything we need to stay in Mexico. And because people in Mexico are not happy in America anyway when they go illegally. Okay? You think that they may be, but they're actually not. Okay? So you make Mexico fair. You make Mexico just, fair, legal, safe. And Mexicans are going to want to stay here. They're not going to want to leave. And the same thing has to happen in Central America. Okay? Please film the area to see them where they're being turned away. That's in Chiapas. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. And again, share this video. Okay? Bye-bye.